Hi, hello, good afternoon, sir and classmates. In Educ 100, I am Samsia G. Musa, Prof. Ed, Section 1, and I presenting tonight my report in Module 24 entitled Physical Development of the High School Learners. Objectives: identify the physical development of adolescent stages and articulate the adolescence such as pubertal changes, growth, sexual maturity, habits, ideal, nutrition, and others. Define adolescence. Adolescence, from Latin meaning the grow up. It is transitional stage of the physical and psychological development that generally occurs during the period from puberty to legal adulthood of age of maturity. The other one, the period of life when a child develops into adults, the period from puberty to maturity terminating legally at the age of maturity, and period of time person's life when they are developing into adult. Continuation. Adolescence is a period of transition in terms of physical, cognitive, and socio-emotional changes. Physical transition being particularly coupled with sexual transformation. The period of adolescence begins with biological changes of puberty and ends with the role and work of life, of adult life. The three stages of adolescence: early adolescence, middle adolescence, and late adolescence. The early adolescence, characterized by puberty mostly occurring between ages 10 to 12 years old. And the middle adolescence, characterized by identity issues within the ages of 14 to 16 years old. Ito yung mga batang high school for second year to fourth year, like that. And dito na tayo sa late adolescence, marks the transition into adulthood at 17 to 20 years old. Ito na yung edad na nasa college na, first year to fourth year. Pubertal changes. It all culture's biological changes comprises the major transition from childhood to early adolescence. This is manifested by change in physical appearance, a more rapid rate of development next to the speed of growth of the fetus in the uterus known as growth spurts. The phenomenon commonly results in the feeling of awkwardness and unfamiliarity with bodily changes. In addition, alternation in sleeping habits and parent-adolescent relationship may be experienced accompanying puberty changes. And the growth spurt. The growth hormone condition gradual increase in body size and weight, but hormones flooding occurs during adolescence, causing an acceleration known as the growth spurt. Body changes include change in body dimensions, leg length, shoulder width, trunk growth rather than leg growth. In girls, the growth spurt generally begins at age of 10, reaching its peak at age 11 and a half, and decreasing at age 13, while slow continual growth occurs for several more years. At age 16, and girls reach 98% their adult height. Ito na tayo sa sexual maturity. Sexual maturity, hormones maturity hormones are recognized to be powerful and highly specialized chemical substances that interact with bodily cells. The human body secretes and circulates some 50 different hormones, and a wide variety of these chemical substances are produced by endocrine cells, most of which are in glands. The hormones then enter the blood system to circulate throughout the body and active target cells. Ito na example, yung nasa color green. Different hormones have different effects on the shape of the body. They help in body growth, development, metabolism, sexual function, reproduction, and etc. And the other continuation, sexual maturity, the triggering by the hormones of the hypothalamus gland on hormones of the pituitary gland signal entire process of sexual maturation. During the process, gonadotropic hormone are secreted by the anterior pituitary. Ito na yung mga sample na dyan. Gonads are the ovaries in the female and the testes in the male. Alam na natin yan na sa ovaries sa female and the testes in the male are then stimulated by gonadotropic hormone, in turn stimulating their own hormones. Testosterone is secreted when the male testis is stimulated by gonadotropic hormone. Estrogen is secreted when the female ovary is stimulated by the GnRH. Sa sexual maturity, first sign of puberty. Characteristic of stimulated testosterone: growth of the testis, scrotum, and penis precedes the growth spurt in height. First, pubic hair precedes by the appearance of facial hair, ejaculation capacity, growth spurts, voice change, most obvious aspect of adolescence development. And characteristic of stimulated estrogen: breast enlargement accompanied by the growth of the uterus and vagina. Appearance of pubic hair, widening of hips, and growth spurts. Continuations. Menarche, female first menstruation generally achieved beginning 1st to 11.5 years old, up to 12 to 12.5 years old. Differ according to ethnicity. African American and European American girls may exhibit secondary sex characteristics as early 8.87 and 9.96 years. Sperm march signals the first signs of puberty and sexual maturity in boys at about age 12 or 13 boys. The need to discharge semen occurs more or less periodically following pressure caused by the product. Where I am now. Production of seminal fluid by the prostate gland. Nocturnal emissions or wet dream occurring during sleep, often caused by sexual dreams. The secular trend in development is the fact that puberty is starting earlier for boys and girls now than it did 100 years ago. The beginning of puberty is still getting earlier, especially for girls. Ito yung example niya. In 1980, the average age at which girls end their first menstrual period in well-nourished industrial societies was 15 and 17 years. This is not true. However, in depressed societies wherein the period is a bit later, at about 15.5 years. 100 years ago, boys reach their adult height ages 23 and 25, and girls are ages 19 and 20. Today, maximum height is reached between 18 and 20 years for boys and 13 and 14 for girls. And dito na tayo sa adolescent sleeping habit. Teenagers are not getting enough sleep and would want more sleep. Lack of sleep is likely caused by changes in adolescent behavioral patterns. 90% of teenager high school students report going to bed later than midnight. Reason for lack of sleep: they enjoy it, too much electronics. Ito na yung nangyayari ngayon. Kahit ang anak ko, 4 years old pa lang, ayaw na matulog. Alauna na. Daig pa niya ang high school life. Socializing with peers and homework. Effect of lack of sleep: difficulties in waking up early, struggle to stay alert and function productivity. Exploration. Instinctively, adolescents become aware of changes in sexuality, thus undergoing a period of exploration and adjustment. Learners from sectarian schools are more likely to consider sexual openness to be dangerous. If not sinful, the case is not perceived among non-sectarian or gender mixed schools, although more danger exists relating to heterosexual relationship and early pregnancy among students in non-exclusive school. Ito na yung nasa mga public. Iba rin ang private kasi nababantayan ka, may gwardiya, may counseling. The drug culture presents serious danger to students who are undergoing the exploratory phase of adolescence development. Pluses and minuses in early or late maturation. Early or late maturation deserves due consideration, as this can be a factor for adolescent acceptance and comfort or satisfaction with her or his body image. Sexual maturity, early viruses, late development. Early development for females, more disadvantageous, subject of ridicule, higher level of body distinction, socialization with older peer group can lead for dating, substance use, sexual activity. Girls who experience early puberty and early sex report higher level of depression. Late development for female, advantage good school performance, disadvantage some anxiety.